Hi, I'm Christian Guzman, and I approve of the Board Shorts and Banter podcast.
Hang on, give it a second. Right. Welcome to the Board Shorts and Banter podcast. It is episode 50 today. I can't believe we've not been cancelled thanks to Ian. Yeah, finish it there. You done? Josh, you're getting weak at this, mate. Right, everyone, welcome back to the Board Shorts and Banter.
Your audio was weak. I couldn't hear you. You kept cutting out.
What, now?
No. So is the music playing now? No, it's off, isn't it?
Did you hear that, Aaron?
I heard the backing track, yeah.
Josh,
And
what's
did you
wrong
hear
with
it
you?
cutting out?
No.
All right, just me.
Yeah, just you, mate.
Sweet. What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 50 of the Board Shorts and Banter podcast. We are joined today by the man who has changed his surname to match his Instagram handle. It's Aaron Aesthetics.
Unbelievable. Round two.
Round two.
The last podcast with both you and Dom did really, really well, but we haven't had just Mr. Aaron Aesthetics on his own yet, have we?
So
It's needed. But Aaron, mate, how have you been?
good, busy. As always, got back from holiday like 2-3 weeks ago, and I feel like I've just stepped on a treadmill at like max speed. It's just been crazy. Obviously, competitive season for us coaches, so full steam ahead with that. So good though.
Wicked. How many boys have you got?
So I had 2 earlier on in the season. I've now got 5 for the remainder of the season. I've literally had 2 hop on really recently, halfway through, and had 3 step on stage literally this weekend just gone. So it's exciting stuff. Stressful but exciting.
Right. Well, we'll get stuck into the bodybuilding stuff, but more importantly, right? Because we don't talk about bodybuilding here. How was the holiday?
Unbelievable. I didn't realise how much I needed it till I got out there. I thought, yeah, it'd be nice to have a week holiday. I felt a little bit, you know what I mean, like guilty having to. It's my first time I've actually gone on like a week's holiday and put work on hold. Like I've done little city breaks here and there where I've brought my laptop along with me, still done check-ins. But this is the first time that I've said to my guys, like, you'll be okay. I'll set you guys up before I go and have like a week away from that WhatsApp noise going off. And
Oh my God. Aaron, what is that like?
It's that sound that causes anxiety. I'm not joking. So yeah, it was nice. All inclusive food, lovely weather. We hit gold with the hotel we went to as well. Like so good. I've never experienced.
Where did you stay?
It was at a Hilton hotel. We went to Turkey, Antalya.
Yeah.
Hotel, and I've never stayed at like a 5-star hotel before, and the service was crazy. They would have put my sunscreen on for me if I wanted to. Like no joke.
Oh, mate, yeah. In them 5 stars, bro, there's not much that they wouldn't do.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome, and it was needed. It was like a really good opportunity just to relax, spend time with my partner, obviously, and it wasn't too full on as a holiday. It was like an actual kick your feet up, do a few things outside the hotel, but actually relax, which was needed.
Mate, I was seeing it on your story. It looked beautiful. It actually looked lush. It looked really, really nice.
A lot of people would say I was a little bit like not hesitant about Turkey, but didn't really think too much of it. But the actual place we went to, it was like fucking Avatar in the background. Like the mountains and that were unreal. Like the beach we had a private beach in the hotel. So nice. So yeah, awesome.
How was the
jet ski?
Mate, I've never seen someone rip a jet ski so much as well.
Boys.
You chose the big boy, didn't you?
Boys. It was something that I've always wanted to do. Have either of you done a jet ski before?
Never.
I've done it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been a bit of a bucket list thing, right? And I kept putting it off the whole of it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I was like, it's expensive. I was like, I'll do it. And we got to the last day, and I thought, right, let's just do it. And I went down there, and it was like, he had 2 options, and he was like, there was 120 brake horsepower jet ski it was like 110 euros for like 15 minutes. And it was only an extra 20 euros to double the brake horsepower. And I just, a little bit of a no-brainer, completely naive to how fast that would be. Bearing in mind, like 240 brake horsepower on something that weighs practically nothing. And I sat on, there was no briefing. He's literally just slammed this fucking life jacket on me. He's like, yeah, go for it, mate. And I was like, I was like, where's the brake? And he literally laughed in my face and said, there's no brakes, mate. Just let go of the accelerator.
You're on fucking water, bro.
So I was like, all right. And I kind of like very slightly held the accelerator to get out the docks because that's what he said to do. And that first like full throttle, I nearly snapped my neck. Like I couldn't believe how quickly that went. It was crazy. I was for dear life. Like if you're going like at the waves, you kind of actually get airtime and it's a bit brutal. And then when you come back round towards the docks, like that's when you can pick up some real speed. So yeah, I'm glad I've done it. It's like a one and done kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. I'm imagining it as you're describing it. It's terrifying, isn't it? It's like the water's like, it may as well just be like concrete.
Yeah.
It's that quick. Mate, 240 brake horsepower. My car's that.
That's what I've been in cars. And then to put it on something that weighs nothing, yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Wild.
Do you want to? I feel like we should do an all-in boys tour, right? And we all just get some jet skis, just rip them around.
That'd be a joke. We'd kill ourselves. We'd end up because that was my thought process. I heard like some footballer like crashed into another jet ski and like lost his life at some point. So all these things are going through your head before you're on a jet ski, and you're pinging out, and the speedboats going around you the lot. Like it's dangerous. Real
right. Question then: of the all-in boys, who's the first one to die on jet skis?
Josh, probably, and I mean little Josh.
No, I don't reckon. You know,
Dan.
I reckon Dan, mate.
I reckon Dan straight away. It would be like, oh yeah, boys, look at me, and then dead. Literally, it would be like, Jesus.
Josh C will be like weirdly good at them because he's just really good at everything.
Yeah.
So he'll be ducking and diving in that, and I've got a feeling
like,
Dan will just send it straight into a pier. You know.
Oh God, yeah.
What's happened then?
That big risk taker, Dan. I reckon you just send it.
Yeah, full send it straight into a whale.
Trogan wouldn't even leave like the dock.
I'd be like, mate,
one pump of the accelerator, and that's it. He's like, nah, fuck this, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. I actually remember when I did it, I did go quite slow, and my dad was like, "Son, it can go quicker."
Did you have someone on the back, Josh, or were you on your own?
I had my dad on the back.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah, and he was like, "You can go quicker." I was like, "No, it's fine." And then he did it, and it was like, "Friggin' hell! Do you not want to have a son anymore? Do you want to just kill us off?" Sweet.
What was the food like there as well, mate?
Oh, a joke. Like we actually had a food festival in the hotel, and like typically, with like all-inclusive food, it can be like mass production. You're getting so many people in, like just cater for as many people as you can, like shove it in those little metal tins, and it's probably pretty poor quality food. We had like live chefs every day. Like for lunch, there was like every cuisine with a live chef, like whether that's fresh tacos, fresh wood-fired pizzas, like every single day. It was crazy. And I was worried that I was going to seriously go too in on it and come back crazy heavy. But I still didn't try and listen to my hunger hormones. I know that wouldn't be a good proxy of how much I should be eating. So I tried to make good decisions where I could. But I still felt like I ate loads, didn't really do too much expenditure, and I only came out a kilo up. So I don't know how that happened, but we shall take it.
That's pretty pussy behaviour, that, mate. Did you train whilst you were away?
Dan gave me strict instructions to not train, like full stop, do not train. And I was under the intention that I could do with a week fully off training.
Yeah.
Just in that mental headspace, I'm eating so much here, I just feel like I want to just get a little bit of expenditure out because we didn't do too much, like I said, outside the hotel. So I've done like an upper body and a lower body session. We had an okay gym, but that was kind of in and out, 45-minute limit, and just kind of go and enjoy yourself. So it didn't take away from the holiday. Just kind of made me feel a little bit better and a bit happier about going in on the food.
I'd feel like it was a crime, like especially like in the warmth of all the food, the pump you'd get. I feel like it's a crime not to get like a little bit of a pump,
Nuts as well. It was all that salt from all the different sauces and stuff. It was a good pump.
I love that. Have you got any more plans now for the rest of the year in terms of travel, or is it literally just locked in on clients, locked in on bodybuilding?
Yeah, I think I needed that. It was the perfect time to go because clients weren't quite in the depths here, like ready to compete. The first batch had competed, so it was a really nice opportunity to give me that fresh reset, ready to go in for the rest of the season. So I think maybe a city break towards the back end of the year, like November time, once the season's wrapped up. But it's all guns blazing now for the rest of the season with the boys and coaching and training and all that good stuff as well.
Sick. Tom, have you got any holidays planned?
Ibiza
Again?
Closing party?
Yeah. Get out there for the black coffee and the kind of music closing parties. And potentially something else, but I'm not too sure yet.
Oh, right. With your female?
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Exciting.
Do you know how many messages I got on the last podcast? After the last podcast, mate?
Like 2?
No, probably like 6 or 7.
What, from girls that were like, oh, Tom, I was waiting for you? Or boys that were like...
Yeah. Like, oh, for God's sake, Tom.
Oh, Tom, why are you straight, Tom?
Yeah. Oh, no more feet pics. Fuck's sake.
Oh,
yeah. Just Ibiza, and then potentially somewhere else. What about you, mate? What about you, Josh?
I'll be going to Ireland for WMBF Ireland.
Oh, I'll be going there. Does that class as a holiday? No.
Is that class as a holiday?
No. It's work trip. Tax.
Oh yeah. HMRC. It's a work trip.
But we're going to end up in a pub somehow for work.
Tom,
meeting.
I've just realised I've not got any holidays now because everything's a work trip.
Oh,
shit.
You poor guy.
Yes, I've got a work trip to Australia, and then obviously I've got a work trip to Boston, and then maybe followed up with a work trip to New York after the WMBF Worlds.
Oh, to be fair, did you message at least one client whilst you was away in Turkey?
I'll be honest, the prep boys still checked in, but
there you go.
Work trip.
Yes, work trip.
Turkish client, yeah?
Yes, Turkish in-person check-in. I had to go out there, you know?
Yeah. Obviously, you're coached by Mehmet Dan Bastic, aren't you?
Yes.
That's it. Mehmet Bastic, of course.
You know, like every single trip to the gym as well is classified as a work trip because I take at least one photo when I'm in there for content purposes. So it's content trip.
Yeah, marketing, absolutely.
Yeah,
of course.
100%. So, Aaron, mate, you're back now.
Yes.
You're in the flow. How has training been, mate? I don't know about you, Josh. I've seen updates from Aaron recently of the last few months. You're looking fucking nuts, mate.
Shit's happening. We've got some serious momentum right now. I think it has been like 6-7 weeks since I've been back. And just prior to going out on holiday, we just wrapped up a mini cut as well. So the body was in a really sensitive and responsive position. It was a very effective mini cut. We got in, got out, got the body into a really good position. And we've managed to drive up calories. So, yeah, cheers to Pepsi Max, by the way.
Yeah, cheers, water. Health.
Josh does not looking down on us like we're peasants for drinking Coke. Josh does like 3,000 steps a day. Get in the bin.
I did notice that podcast.
What's healthier? What's better? 3,000 steps or drinking a couple cans of Diet Coke?
I'd have to say I'm having more than a couple of cans. There's what's in a glass. I've got a bottle, I'll be honest. Not as good as a can.
How much do you have a day?
I reckon I have a litre of Pepsi Max a day, I'll be honest.
Oh my God.
Is that just because appetite is high?
I just fucking love Pepsi Max.
That's a great reason.
I'm personally more of a fan of Coca-Cola Zero.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's all they had on holiday, like bottled Coke Zero, and that was one of the things I look forward to most coming back, genuinely.
Really?
Oh my God, Aaron, I'm judging you hard, mate. Coke Zero is bae. Coke Zero from McDonald's is sensational.
It is great.
I'm not saying Coke Zero is bad, just I'm still leaning on Pepsi Max for me.
Hang on. We're going off on a tangent. Aaron, tell us about the mini cut. How long was it? What weight did you go from to down to?
So we started the mini cut around about 103 kilos and then pulled down to 96 within the space of like 7 or 8 weeks. So kilo a week rate of loss. And then we are now back into a surplus and back up to about 100 kilos. But visuals have almost stayed identical from a body composition point of view. Yeah, we're a good 3.5 kilos up. And pushing things hard at food is just going through me in a good way. Like added in so many calories over the past few weeks and body weight is going absolutely nowhere. Performance still rising, so there's no concern whatsoever. The visuals are still improving. So we've got around about 5 to 6 weeks left of the super physiological phase of PEDs. So just trying to capitalize on that, keep driving performance. Training's absolutely flying. before we kind of then bring it back down, just hold that body weight for a while. I had intentions of getting up towards the 110 kilo mark after this mini cut, but body weight isn't responding the way I thought it would. So we're in a good spot though. Really exciting. I think just seeing the boys step on stage this weekend just reminded me of how bad I want to get back up there. I'm not ready to prep yet, like mentally and physically. Like I know I've still got so much more improvements to make, but I'm very excited for next year when it's our turn again, you know?
I bet you are, mate. I bet you are. So next year then, when are you thinking of competing? Is it looking like the start of the year or is it looking like the back end fills in?
I think I'm leaning towards the back end just because I still want improvements. I still need more improvements. I know the jump, as we mentioned, from the standard that I was at with natural bodybuilding to the assisted realms is quite a big jump. I think likely towards the back end of the year. I've kind of briefly spoke with Dan about it. No show calendars out yet, obviously, but I think we do a PCA show as a, I don't want to say warm up because I know I hate saying that. We do a PCA show and then go for a Two Bros regional. If all goes to plan, I'd love to get the opportunity to do a pro qualifier. I'd love to try and compete abroad as well, have that as part of the show calendar and just see how far off I am. I'm aware that I'm probably not going to be there next year, but I want to see how close I am stood next to people who are of a pro caliber, who are going to achieve a pro card. And then I've got the information I need then to go for the next improvement. But we'll see. We never know. I don't. The way things are progressing at the minute, like I just don't know what position I'll be in by mid next year. You know.
Yeah.
We'll go with the flow. Just enjoying it. I'm loving the off season. I know you boys are just going into a mini cut, but I love training. I love eating. So I am very content with being in this phase right now.
I bet you are, mate. I bet you are. Hey, Tom. How much are you weighing today? Like you're 2 days into the cut. How much weight have you lost?
2.3 kilos.
2.3.
I'm not joking, Tom. I can already see it in your face. I ain't just saying that. It actually looks like it's coming in already. Jeez.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, that's where you've lost your 2.3 kilos, bro. Your arms.
And my face, the cheeks. The thing is, right, my body does not like being heavy. So as soon as I pull out food, like literally if I have a couple of days of missing food, like I'll drop like weight like that, you know? And this is why it's so hard for me to push up to even like 90 kilos, you know? But yeah, 2.3 kilos down. What about you, Josh?
1.1 from yesterday. Yeah, buddy.
Come on.
I did 9,000 steps yesterday. My legs are so sore.
To be fair, mate, like you got some wheels on you. Like in your little post that you put on Instagram, of course you had to do a reel as well. You had to one up me, didn't you, from my my starting post? Yeah, your little transition.
I saw you doing transition. I saw you do your post. Thought, here we go. I'm gonna embarrass Tom.
You know what's funny as well? He deliberately chose to wear black underpants and white socks, just like me.
No comment.
I love it. But yeah, it's not a competition, Josh. It's not.
No, you're right.
Is it, mate? It's definitely
no
not.
You trying to compete, bro?
No. You're world champion, bro. I'm not even scratching at your ankles yet. You know. So there we go. But so Aaron, obviously pushing up now. I feel like the next time you compete, mate, it's almost like because you obviously did very, very well in you literally top of like the classic natural in the UK, like when you last competed in 2023.
Second.
But now,
Came second, didn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, like top of the top, it's there, it's there. And now it's almost like I feel like you're just earning your stripes all over again. It's like a completely different level, but I think that's exciting as well.
Yeah,
super exciting.
Reset. And it's motivating. It's like that pressure of like you are in a completely different kettle of fish now. Is a huge driving force for this off season. I don't want to get up there and be like miles off, which I'd really like to think I won't be, but that is a huge driving force for this off season. Whereas before it was a little bit the unknown because I was obviously going from physique to classic. It was real unknown. I don't have a clue what the standard's going to be. Whereas I got a pretty good idea of the caliber of physique that's going to be doing well in going for those pro qualifiers. So that's a huge driver. And I feel like for me, my physique looks much better as I go into a prep. I've always been a bit more of a prep physique than an off-season physique. It's been a little bit different this time with a little bit more muscle tissue and obviously anabolics at play, holding more fullness, etc., etc. But I feel like the biggest kind of telltale signs when we get deeper into prep on how far off are we,
Yeah, it's it's crazy as well, man. So how old are you now again?
25 and I'll be 26 in November.
So I feel like you built such a good like foundation naturally. Like the way I describe you, there's guys younger than you that have been taking PEDs for a longer period of time as well.
Yeah,
And
sure.
they're even like from a young age, their physiques, even though if they get to your age, for instance, 25, 26, they just don't look fresh.
Yeah.
They look almost a bit burnt out versus you, mate. The way I kind of compare you is if you almost like look at someone like Bob Waterhouse, he just looks fresh. He just looks so fucking sick. And I almost look at your physique like I can tell that is a physique that is done very well naturally,
Yeah.
and then has taken that leap. You just look like you've got so much shelf life on you, mate. I know it's very very early days, but even
Sure.
like you just look fresh, and I like that look.
It's something that was so important to me. I always try and reinforce this to Dan as well. Like the visual, like you've only got one physique, right? And I don't want to have like a physique that's blown up so stupidly quickly from like nothing. Just because like things like scar tissue, I don't want to lose things like the striations. I don't want to have poor skin. I don't want to have a physique that you can't kind of really undo from like how quickly it's grown. Like classic physique is the whole package. Like absolutely everything, like your whole, like the face, the hair, the skin quality, like it is so important. It isn't open bodybuilding, so I'm just extremely conscious of that. So I'm glad I've done it the way I have and held off, just so we can keep the quality of the visuals, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the reasons for that. It's obviously going to be largely genetic, but like how a physique keeps that fresh look versus not, like grown too quickly. Like it's interesting to me, but mate, you give it like another, next year competing. I think you're going to look incredible, mate.
It's exciting.
Do you so obviously when you made the leap, there was quite a few people in the natural world that also took the same steps that you took.
Yes.
Do you keep an eye on them as like a look at how much progress I've made, look at how much progress they've made? Because like some of them, it's genuinely like it's laughable that they even made the jump in the first place. Like
Yeah.
I literally, because I still follow these people on Instagram, I see, I'm like, why on earth did you do it? So what's it like in your position where you're actually getting a decent response from the actions that you've taken versus them lot?
I've always said like it was really important for me to like set the standard of when I was to go assisted. Like this is how much progress you can make if you legit like act like a pro, because like you said, you always want to act like the person you want to become. And I'm not saying these other guys aren't doing that, but the start position definitely makes a huge difference as well. Because there was a few people where I didn't even realize they'd made the jump. It was like 4 or 5 months down the line, and it isn't until I seen a story then mention it. I'm like, oh shit! Like I didn't realize you made the jump, etc., etc. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I try and stay in my own lane, absolutely, and just keep setting the standard myself and not focus too much on what other people are doing. But it's interesting at the same time, for sure.
It is. It is very interesting. Very interesting. Tom, is there anything else that you want to discuss?
I just think like genetic response to it as well. Like again, that's so individual. Like you can't. I feel like when someone decides to take that leap, they may have like an incredible natural physique or like a very respectable natural physique, but you could also have like not the best response to steroids as well, just genetically. Versus there's people out there that don't necessarily have the best natural physiques, but they have an incredible response to enhancement. It's so individual. It's like again, like even you, you can't compare your journey to someone else.
No, and it's so scary that you'll never know that information. Like you've got to make a lifelong decision without knowing. Obviously, you can do so much within your power to get the most out of them. Like, absolutely. You need to hone in on so many areas to get the most out of them. However, the huge genetic response is pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's like Nick Walker. Did you see him like years ago versus
I see that
now?
timeline of him like every single year. Like the rate of progression is obscene.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely obscene.
That's what you're going to be like, mate.
So,
We shall see.
Let's talk about natural bodybuilding, right? Because that's what we do here, right? We don't like your kind, Aaron. Your boys, what shows have they got coming up now?
So they have got the BNBF they've just finished. So they've just done the BNBF 7. All 3 of them qualified for the finals. So that's now added into the timeline. And then probably going to do the UKFBA, which is the Heart of England show. I'm still genuinely unsure what that show is because I know it doesn't qualify you for anything? Is it just a show?
I'm going to just load it up on Instagram.
Because it says novice championships, but it's obviously got open categories as well. But that doesn't qualify you for anything, because I understand that the British finals is an open entry, essentially, isn't it, for the UKFBA?
Yeah.
So it's just
So it's just a show.
It's just a show.
Okay. So
UK Novice Championships, all divisions.
Yeah.
Oh, UK Novice
WNBF?
Championships, all divisions, and the Heart of England Championships.
Yeah. It's just like a 2-in-1er.
So it's a novice show and an open show in one. But the novice show is all divisions. The open show is it just bodybuilding?
Possibly. That rings a bell.
What about WNBF? Are any boys getting in for that?
Yeah, so I think the way the season runs, it will be they'll do the UKFBA, which is like the Novice Heart of England. I think all three of them will then go to do the BNBF finals as a priority, and then the weekend after is the WNBF. So I'm pretty sure all of those guys want to get in there. It's not something that I've done, but I've only heard good things, especially from you boys and other people who've competed with them. So I really want them to go and experience that. And once again, it's another Open British Finals. So it makes complete sense to run it on from the BNBF finals and just have another crack at it to bring a good package, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's quite a long season, that, for them, isn't it?
It
2 months?
Yeah, I think
half.
they were all at around about 19, 20 weeks leading up to that first BNBF. And then it's going to be another, another 8 weeks on from that. So it's going to be a long season by the end. All three of them were in pretty good start positions. I think one of my lads who came second in novice, he's pretty much all the way there. So it's going to be difficult to manage that for another 8 weeks. The other two boys got a little bit more to come off, like another kilo or two. So that's a really nice timeline to continue pushing on for them and not be burnt out too early. But I'm confident we can manage it all. It made me realise this week how impressive it is for coaches to peak multiple athletes. Like, that was 3, and that was a lot. I can't, like, Josh, I know you've done 7. Tom, I know you've done multiple. And there's guys peaking people in different countries in one go. Take my hat off, because it's
different time zones,
intense. A good intense. Show day was so emotionally draining. Honestly, I got home at the end of the day and I just wanted to melt. Like, so nervous. Like, the pressure, like, sat in the crowd when their family is there, their partners, and you are responsible. Well, not completely responsible how they get on, right? But, like, there is that pressure on you. And I've never been so nervous in my life. I think my average heart rate, no joke, in the crowd was like 130 for the whole time they're on stage. It's like cardio, sat there.
Yeah.
So, it was pressure. And I think when they come out and they were, all of them, like, battling for that first place box, they were all right in the mix in the first call out, getting moved around, centre stage just out. I think that added to the nerves big time, because I realised how close they were to that. So it was good fun. I enjoyed it.
But that just goes to show, mate, that you actually give a shit. Like, how invested you are into them. If you were sat into the crowd, just like, what is it, Josh? Like that guy that eating peanuts.
Yeah, Mr. Mr. Peanut Man.
Yeah. Like, it just goes to show, mate, how invested you are and how much you want your boys to do well. And you know what they've been through firsthand. So, it's
I've been really fortunate to work with 2 of them for like well over 2 years. Like, they started when I was doing 1-to-1 PT. Neither of them even would have considered competing, and they've just slowly developed as athletes, grew a huge passion for the sport. And for them to then come to me saying, I want to compete, I didn't encourage it. For them to step on stage, like, Jesus, it's a good feeling. Really, really good feeling.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
That's what it's all about, right?
It's one of the reasons why you get into this job. You want to do the full journey with someone. Like, imagine if them boys stay with you again for like the next 3-4 years and they're like battling for pro cards and stuff, and you've literally took them off the gym floor and put them as being like, the top 5% of bodybuilders in the UK. That's sick.
Yeah, you get so invested, like, so invested. So that'd be an incredible journey for sure. So exciting.
Yeah.
And they've got the potential to do so.
Mate, we're working with the right guy.
Hey. So I should see you. And you guys got clients in the UKFBA, and none of you have done BNBF, right? No. You don't do board shorts.
I have clients doing the BNBF, thank you, because I do coach bodybuilders. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
My team's way too handsome for BNBF.
Are you calling Martin and Matthew ugly? You're awful, you, Tom.
Big,
both of them
ugly
boys will kick.
bodybuilders.
They will kick your head in. Nah, I will be at the BMBF Scottish and the BMBF Northern.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Busy.
So then hopefully
mate, the next 3 months is insane.
yeah, that kind of August, September, October is crazy.
Yeah. Like even the month of August, every single weekend I'm seeing a client Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then obviously September's pretty much shows every single weekend on the first weekend of September. So it's like 31st of August, 1st of September. I may have, have you seen that Ultraflex are doing a show?
Yeah, and you get a winner year's membership or something for two different.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Mad.
So
when?
Two of my boys might be doing that as a warm up show. No, it's just like an additional show because it's up in Sunderland and they're Scottish. So that's an option. And then the day after that, it's the NPA, like Natural Physique Association, who one of my boys is a pro with. So I'll be going to that, which is like a fucking 12-hour drive from Sunderland, which will be great fun. Yeah, just an amazing time. Coach mode, bro. And then it'll be shows every single weekend of September and half of October, and then Australia, and then Boston.
Wow.
Boston, Massachusetts.
I like it. Right, Josh.
I have one more question for Aaron.
Go on.
What, from you?
From me.
Cool.
From me. Right. We are now how many months post show from last time you competed? 9 months?
Well, yeah, it's got to be because I'm getting memories pop up from prep like shows last year, so it's probably about 9 months. Yeah.
What is your emotions like towards your silver medals now?
I think looking back, I'm still like, you always look at me and think, fucking hell, I wish they were gold. However, I think it built character, like serious character in that string of shows, getting that close so many times. I wouldn't change it now. Yes, it would have been nice. It would have extended the season, God knows how long, if we were to win the British finals and go out to the Worlds and stuff. So everything, as cheesy as it sounds, everything happens for a reason. I'm glad it happened. It got a load of experience from it. So I don't want to be continuing the silver run, that is for sure. So next year, no silvers. I'm done with it. It just blends in with the wall. There's like one in the middle.
Oh, bless you. So you don't hate them?
I don't hate them. No. It all tells a story, right?
Yeah. No, because like the reason why I say it, I obviously had a bad experience competing in Germany, and I've not hung my medal anywhere. And I saw it in my drawer the other day, and I was like, oh no, I am going to hang it because it's part of the journey. So it's took a while for me to get to that point and feel that towards that particular placing. I just wondered if it was the same for you.
Yeah, I don't have any like sour. Like, they were all extremely close battles, and I'll look at that, and we know bodybuilding is a subjective sport, and I think Jack is a phenomenal athlete. Like, see how he looks this year; it's crazy. Like,
he's made some ridiculous improvements.
Hey,
he's made some crazy improvements.
Shows being with a coach, I think he's leveled up, so he's going to do very well this year, I'm sure. Again, so it wasn't any bad feelings towards that. It's, like I said, good battles at every single show, brought my best package as a result of that. So I have no issues having the silvers up there for now.
I love it. Good sportsman.
Indeed.
Right, Josh, questions, because I am the worst person in the universe. I didn't put up a questions box. I forgot.
You are pretty shit, mate.
Do you know what it is, mate? Because I stress myself out so much, staying up late, getting these podcasts up, right?
Oh, yeah. I thought it would be that. Yes, of course. Right, first question. I'm not saying who it's from because he says he'll know who asked this.
Yeah, I do, probably. You haven't even said anything yet. I got
who
a
is it?
Him. He said, like, after you put up, any question goes, or I think I reshared, but any question goes, he goes, you really allow me to do this. I was like, okay. Man, messed up.
Who's asked the question?
Is it David?
5 gram of Japanese 7 spice on every meal, or eat every meal frozen.
Eat every meal frozen.
7 spice.
You got to think I have
Yeah,
oat
well,
cream, right? That's like it's like a Jap. It's like a. I don't. Have you ever had 7 spice? I have 7 spice.
I've had Chinese 5 spice. It's horrible.
It's hot. You don't rate that seasoning.
No.
Ooh, okay. I like it with like a
5 gram. Is there a story behind this, or is it just?
I think someone accidentally put the wrong seasoning on instead. It might have been like meant to be cinnamon, but it's actually Japanese 5 spice.
Imagine
I
on a
don't.
bowl of porridge.
Oh, I've done
It
that.
was porridge. It was oats. I'm more than sure it
I
was.
put
Oh,
cumin.
God.
I put cumin on instead of cinnamon. Ugh.
Yeah, that's.
I still ate it.
I would probably. I'd get the 5. You'd have to learn to like the 5 spice. I think you can't eat.
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't. We had this question like the other day, like
Yeah.
cold food or hot food.
I thought that was a good question. You know, I was
Great question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd rather eat spicy food, and I'm terrible with spice.
Yeah, I'm alright with spice. Not great, but all right. That's tough.
I don't know. Now I'll eat frozen meals. I'm all good.
That's tame for David. I thought that was going to be up there with Ian level. So we got away.
Oh, right. Okay.
David,
I might
come back
message him
next
and
time,
say,
mate.
David,
Come back again.
come up with a
Again.
worse one.
We got
Reese _Walker 4. Really nice lad. I'm hoping he's going to be joining the Just Coaching team working under Tom Hermitage. He has asked Shag, Marry, Avoid, Eddie Abu, Jack's Fit, Sam Sulek.
I would. Okay, I'll answer first. I'll marry Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good job.
I'll
You break Jack.
Shag Jack.
But that'd be quite funny, wouldn't it? Imagine.
Yeah. I have in fact lost weight.
I can't finish my Cocoa Pops.
And then I'd avoid Eddie. Sorry, Eddie, mate. It scares me a little bit.
I'm gonna have to cop out. I'm gonna have to agree. I think that makes sense. Sam would be great to marry. He'd be funny to train with. Be funny to live with. I reckon it'd be good. He'd be getting us to drink chocolate milk. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Sulek's an easy marry, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just good luck.
Eddie would get on your nerves. You wouldn't be able, like, imagine if you married Eddie, it'd be like, this wedding cake is full of fucking shit.
It's shit.
You're like, oh Christ, he started already. We've only just got married. Yeah. Avoid Eddie. And Jack's Fit is getting it. Unlucky boy.
Should you go uni then?
Oh God. Oh, Tom, I want to tell Aaron the thing that I sent you yesterday.
What did you send me again yesterday?
Oh, that I sent you and Rachel. You know?
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh God. Save it.
All right, I'll save it. But don't take this out of the podcast. We'll let the people not know. Aaron, I'll tell you after the podcast. Someone has asked, I'm saying someone, because it may affect your answer of this question. Who's the best photographer?
Ooh, photographer or videographer?
He said photographer.
Everyone's gonna have a bias here, surely.
I think Fivos show shoots. I think he's amazing.
Whitman, are we on about like stage shots here?
No. There is a right answer apparently for you. There is only one right answer.
Yeah, Andrew D.
Oh,
Media.
is it Andrew D. Media?
It is Andrew D. Media.
Ah, right, yeah. That may be who asked the question.
Yeah, I'd be cancelled if I had any other answer there. But
yeah, you would. What's the videography game like down in the south?
Don't know many, and even for photographers, there isn't a massive even the fitness scene's so much quieter down here. So I think the top level videographers and photographers are typically out of the southwest. I'm sure Tom.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sure there's some talented unknown videographers and photographers. Like Andrew's phenomenal, and he's not even like fully established yet. But there isn't massive names down this way for sure. So I'm lucky to have a client who's of that caliber that I can obviously use as well. So
yeah. Have you had any more thoughts on moving from your current location?
Yeah, I'd really like to get it locked down before prep next year. I don't want any. I've never moved house. I've had clients move houses. Well, Tom, it's a stressful experience moving that far. Don't want to be doing that mid prep, So I think it will be a matter of towards the back end of the year once the season's finished, start putting those plans in place, have a little look. It's still so difficult. I don't know where, but definitely make some progressions with that for sure.
Manchester.
Yeah, Manny. I reckon we all just go one step further and just move to Dubai or something. That'd be a good laugh.
Yeah. Benus.
Yeah, with all the nonsense going off in the world. Genuinely, yesterday I was looking on Indeed for jobs for Annabella in Abu Dhabi.
Really?
Yeah.
What it is going a bit mad over here right now, isn't it?
Oh mate, obvious. Do you get shadow banned if you mention current world events? Mention the R word.
Pretty hot. It might be worth a swerve.
Yeah. Well, there's something happening literally on my road in a matter of hours.
To see a
really
through the window.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Are you going to bunker down?
I'm once we finish this podcast, we're going to assess the situation and we're going to move accordingly. But I'm not leaving.
I like it.
Oh, scary.
I just broke my toe again. Ow.
Oh,
Carry
Tom,
on.
you never said when we did the Ibiza, review. You never said what you did to re-break your toe.
Oh, I think I just broke it again. Mo's girlfriend stood on it, and it just nice big crunch,
Is she standing it in heels, or was it
no,
just accidental?
Just like shoes, just like flat shoes, but it was in a club, so she gave it a good little stamp, and
Oh,
that was great.
Beautiful. I only have one more question. No, I don't. I have two. CJ Hancock 123. Should be called DJ Hancock 123 with a name like that. As a coach, what are the biggest learned takeaways from coaches you've had in the past?
Let's think now.
Who's answering first?
Oh dear. I could give my answer. The only proper coach that I've had was AJ for a very brief period of time. So my biggest thing that I took away from my brief period of time working with AJ was his attentiveness and is almost very assertive direction. He basically just paid massive attention to what was happening day by day and gave me very clear directions on what to do based off of what was happening. So I try to do that with my clients as much as possible, rather than being we could do this, we could do that. Obviously, there's times where it is important to work as a team when working with a client, but when someone's say at the back end of prep, or they're just fatigued or not in a position to make the best decision on behalf of themselves, then just being really you're going to do this. This is why, and here's your plan. Crack on.
Yeah, I've learned loads off Dan in particular. I think it'd be hard to pinpoint one. I think the role of nutrition, Dan really I was always on a if it fits your macros approach before, and I'm not saying that doesn't work for a lot of people with set goals. But for me, the way he structures nutrition and the importance of nutrition was a huge eye-opener for me. And what made a huge considerable amount of progress when I initially switched to him was him taking a role of food sources and stuff. And then also attention to detail. In that peak week, in the depths of prep, he was up waiting to go. So the level of service that took so much stress off of me. So that's helped massively with me coaching my boys this year to try and replicate that, because I know how much stress that took off. So attention to detail, probably similar to AJ, just being able to make the right decisions, know how to make that athlete tick. I think that'd probably be the main things.
I would say, in all honesty, from Lewis would be because of all the people that I've worked with, so 3 coaches to be fair. I'd say
Oh,
I've
you
learned
two have
most.
worked with the same coach in the past, haven't you?
Bridgman.
I forgot you were coached by Bridgman as well, Tom.
Ages ago, yeah. The same season you competed, 2021.
Yeah. I'd done 2 seasons with Josh. He'd done my first ever prep, and done my the second prep as well.
Yeah, no, I worked with Josh in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was a really good coach for the level of I was as an athlete at the time. Like I was in a position to learn off of him and took me forwards. And then the position I was at that point, I then needed Dan to take me forwards from there. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say like the main thing I learned from Lewis was not being afraid to push, like even my own clients.
Yeah.
Like if someone tells you they want to achieve a certain thing, like you need to be able to have that confidence as a coach to be able to like put your foot down and be affirmative with your decisions. So long as you're covering your bases with your client and making sure that they are still in a healthy position, of course, like being able to push them hard, like ultimately that is needed. And I think that's where a lot of coaches miss the mark, is like not knowing how hard to push a client. So I'd say, just having confidence in like your decisions and knowing how hard to push.
Yeah. Do you think like, with coaching in the UK being at like the level that it's at the minute, or like more so the people that we knock around with? So I would always like look at Finn, Reese, maybe even Adam Powell, the standards that they have with their clients. Like as a coach, that has probably a bigger impact on me than any person that I've ever worked under or, trained with for a long period of time. Seeing how other coaches are operating almost forces you to elevate your service and elevate your standards so that, you are almost like on the same level as them. Or
pressure because of the standard. Like it's like as an athlete, like because the standards got higher, there's then a pressure as a coach because the standard of athletes that people are putting on stage in the drug tested federations is crazy. So you see all these other coaches bringing people in on like that levels you up because you haven't got a choice. If you're not bringing your athlete on the money, the chance of a top placing is going to be very difficult unless you've got a genetic freak.
Yeah.
100%.
Mad.
I agree.
There is one more question in my questions box, and it is an anonymous Q.
You should do more of those.
Sorry?
You should do more of those anonymous Qs. I reckon you get some pretty crazy stuff.
I reckon we'll do that on Monday. I'll upload one of them anonymous things.
Yeah.
They'll get very weird, won't they?
Ian will have a field day.
Oh, mate. Did Ian complain to you after the last podcast?
He's complained to me twice now.
He basically tried to convince me that the question that he asked was a legitimate question. And the answer that I provided you with, Tom, which we obviously didn't put in the podcast, was the same answer that Ian provided.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go then.
If one didn't happen, the other one wouldn't happen either. Yeah?
It is true.
It is true, but we just don't want to talk about them kind of subjects, bro. Deep questions, thought-provoking questions, not at all like controversial or
shadow banned.
Yeah. Nothing that's going to get us banned, bro.
Keyword shadow ban material, We can talk about cold drinks and hot food. Like, that's all good.
Yeah.
When it comes to world geopolitical matters, maybe not.
Not yet. Anyway, the anonymous Q. Difference between being transparent regarding drugs and glorifying them.
This is interesting. I literally had an Instagram DM about this today. On what route to go down. Because obviously I've had to make a bit of a decision on what approach you take with what you disclose, with what you take, dosages. Because you've obviously got 2 routes, right? You've got like someone who's of a huge influence, like a C-bum, who would obviously admit that he is enhanced, but would never disclose what he's taking or the doses. And then you've got, on the other hand, the type of influencer who pretty much states what they're taking and it's completely out there. And I think it's difficult because on one hand, yes, you're going to influence people. So you've got to be extremely wary of that. However, a lot of the times people think these athletes are taking way more than they actually are. So then the other argument is, if you are open and honest with what you're taking, is that going to prevent people from taking as much? I think it's a extremely tricky decision. And I'm yet to come out and start saying about doses or anything, because I'm a little bit reserved on that. Because
I was going to ask you that, because like, I take interest in what you post on Instagram, but whenever anyone posts like I'm taking this much of X, Y, and Z, I just switch off because it doesn't interest me at all. Do you think that you will ever kind of go, oh, I'm taking this, I'm taking that?
Yeah, I think like I'll happily at the moment I've kind of explained what I'm taking. There's never doses. I do want to do a video kind of like doing a bit of a wrap up of the last 8 months, like what I've experienced from like a completely honest point of view. And I was always toying with the idea of, do I be completely honest? Because part of me wants to document the whole experience so I can look back on this whole journey from start to finish, exactly what I was taking, and be as open and honest as possible. But how dangerous and how irresponsible is that? And how important is that information to people really?
Yeah.
It's such a difficult decision. It's hard to know what is right and if it is the right thing to do. We know it's going to bring views. We know it's going to bring engagement by putting some of this information out there. But is it the most responsible and sensible thing to do? I don't know.
Like, I saw that question come up on, in the questions box, and it made me think, like, for years, probably the last prep that I did was the only prep that I actually openly spoke about how much cardio I did, because I didn't want someone to see how much cardio I was doing and think, oh, Josh is doing that, maybe I should do that. So I didn't want to be triggering for someone that like obviously wasn't doing a bodybuilding kind of endeavor. It is tricky. I think my opinion on, people talking about their drugs and stuff, they should create a platform for people like that. Like Train by JP, it's great for it,
Yeah.
Go on there. No one's going to get demonetized. It's because you've got to pay to be on it. There's a barrier for entry, so you've got to be like a level of seriousness to even want to sign up.
Yeah.
I think if I was in your position, I'd like try and figure out a way that like on Instagram you can do like the subscriber thing.
Yeah.
If you put something like that up, and even if it was like a nominal amount of like say £4 a month, £5 a month, and then you posted that kind of content on there, then it's not gonna, or it's less likely to get into the wrong person's feeds.
It's been a very fascinating progression over the last 5 to 8 years about how much it's talked about and how much it's been just so watered down and just accepted. Like, it has been a crazy track. Like, Brandon Harlan was probably one of the first earlier, bigger influencers to start coming out, like explaining this, putting it in the YouTube thumbnails, and now it is just so common. And I think that makes people think that it's okay to chuck out doses here, doses there, and it won't have an influence. People do what they want anyway, but we still have responsibilities at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Have you seen like the young LA kids like putting syringes in their mouth and like just like, I think one of them was like selling his own merch, and then with one of the orders he was like, I'm going to put a dirty needle in there to like one of you lucky people, and he like showed it in the parlor. It had like a dirty steroid needle in there.
Crazy.
If you buy his merch, one of you are going to receive it. Ha 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 ha. It's like, fucking hell, man.
What's wrong with people?
Literally.
Yeah, and the company's obviously fine with that.
Yeah. They're like glorifying it,
He's on like 20 grand a month. What a boy.
He's getting the engagement we need.
Jesus.
Crazy times. I don't think there's anything wrong with, obviously. I think it's a good thing to disclose that you are enhanced, but again, like, it all comes down to the fact that it's so fucking individual. What does it matter what you're taking versus someone else?
For sure. Yeah, you and your coach, essentially, a lot of the time, I think, as much as you want to document the journey and the process, how needed is the exact amounts, for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, I think I saw a post from Brightman recently.
Yeah, he done a video this morning completely disclosing it all as well.
Yeah, and like he was saying,
his gear.
Yeah, but he was just saying, I saw like an Instagram post he put up. He said, I am taking more than I actually want to right now, but it seems like this, for where I'm at right now in my journey, this is kind of what is taken. I don't enjoy it, but it is what it is. Some people can get away with less than this. I'm taking more than I ideally want to. So again, it's just so individual.
Yeah.
Do you do either of you follow Ben Bray on Instagram?
Yeah,
I followed a few of his YouTube videos as well, actually, because I know he's just finished his season trying to go for the pro card, right?
Yeah, I've grown up in the same area as Ben, and because we've both competed, we've both done men's physique. There's like people that in my area always draw comparisons between me and Ben. It's like Ben's far more handsome. Like, please stop comparing me. But if you look at like his journey, I've never asked him, but judging like where he's at now and the things that he's posting on Instagram, you would almost look at that and think he probably regrets taking gear. So I think again, there's positives to it. When someone's transparent and like truly is transparent, they're going to say both sides of the coin. Like, yeah, all right, I'm enhanced. This is what I think about it. That may deter someone because, like, again, if someone doesn't know that there are negative sides of it, you have got to speak about what you're doing to be able to then say, and this is how I feel about it. Do you know what I mean?
He's been very good for that. He explained, like, after his final pro qualifier this season, he was backstage and he had a real, like, realization moment where he's like, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like these guys who are winning these pro cards. Like, that's not what I aspire to be. So he's in a really difficult position considering he took that health risk. So I think, yeah, there's definitely some regret there. But it's awesome that he's being honest and reflective on that.
Yeah.
It's a crazy process, isn't it? Because like he's been there before. He's already done the enhanced preps and whatnot, and then he came off, and then he obviously did the hybrid, and then it seems like he's done a UE again. So
Yeah.
This is the dangerous thing about like steroids, for instance, is like any drug. I'm not going to say it. Well, it is addictive. It is addictive. I'm not saying he's got a fucking addiction, but it's like, why would you do a prep again naturally? Like, there's no point. He's been enhanced. Like, he doesn't get better than that.
I think Ben's thing is that he's competitive. And the thing that he can be competitive in at the minute is bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because he looks the way that he looks. So it's like you're trying to find that competitive thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just keeps going back to the thing that he's done. What's easiest to just tap into.
Yes, maybe this should be the time now. That's like the final nail in the coffin, just prioritize health and do someone else.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting in him. Anyway, we're an hour in.
There we are.
Anything else to talk about?
Aaron, what do you want to talk about, mate? This is your podcast.
My podcast now. I'm taking over.
You can have it.
Yeah.
50 episodes in.
Job done. Handing you the shit, mate.
This is all that we wanted to do. We said when we get to 50, we're done.
Oh, this is it. It's a finale. This is the end game. No, I don't know. I'm out of things.
Cool. Right. We'll leave it there then. So, people, thank you very much for listening. It has been your boy Tom, Josh, and Aaron. Aaron, where can the people find you?
Aaron Aesthetics on all platforms. We'll keep it easy. YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Even on Zencaster.
How's your YouTube doing?
I've got another video from this show day weekend, which I'm extremely excited to get out. Obviously, need to get it edited. Consistency is the issue, as always. It's just finding time, as you know. It's just trying to prioritize the energy towards the areas that need to be done. And then if we can get content out on top on a YouTube front, then it's a bonus, right? But more consistency, that would be nice.
Love it. Right. And Aaron, if people want to use your code for All In, what code is it?
You're actually going to allow me to do this?
We are, mate. We share the love here.
Aaron C, if you want to support your boy.
But don't use that code. Use code BSB at the checkout for all in bodybuilding discount. Okay?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Right, people, thank you very much for listening. Boys, thank you for joining me. And we'll catch you in the next one.
See you in the next 50 episodes, listeners. Wow.
Oh, yes. The next 50 episodes. Road to 100, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.